Okay. I guess.
We can proceed. If they join late, they just have to catch up.
Okay. So yeah, Rose.
Motion accepted. The motion has been accepted and will be carried out due to a majority vote. So when we call for the motion, you will either accept it or deny it, and due to the majority vote, it will be either accepted or denied. Cheers. Name countries one at a time. Delegates stand with with black cards and state their formal name and country. All right. So now, as chairs, we're gonna be calling out country's name. Let's say, for example, Germany. Delegate of Germany will stand up with their black card, raise it, and say that they're present or present in voting. Now, all delegates stand and state their name. One person states country names. Example, the honorable delegate of Libya is present and voting. As I said, I will call out a country name, and the delegate of that said country will stand up and say if they're present or present and voting, but they have to state their professional name, aka the honorable delegate of Libya.
Okay. Let's move on to the UN command. Start session and conduct roll call. Okay. Argentina.
Okay, delegates that are not present will be marked as absent or late, and in this case, absent.
Okay. Australia.
Present.
Okay. Austria. Austria. Bangladesh.
Present.
Chile. Chile. Yeah. Colombia. Colombia. North Korea. North Korea. Okay. Egypt.
Present.
Okay. Finland. France.
Present.
Germany. Germany. Okay. Ghana.
Present.
Greece.
Present.
Guyana. Okay. India. Do I have India? Indonesia.
Present.
Okay. Iraq. No. Kenya. Madagascar. Oman. Pakistan. Republic of Korea. Romania. Russian Federation. Saudi Arabia. Okay. Singapore. Syrian Arab Republic. Tunisia. Ukraine.
Present.
Thank you. United Arab Emirates. United Kingdom. Okay. United States. Okay. Set the agenda. Okay. 1 second.
Chair, I joined late. This is the delegate of Morocco speaking.
Okay. Yeah, 1 second.
Okay, delegate, please turn on your camera and prepare your background.
I've actually written in the group chat. I have some issues with the background, so.
That's okay.
Yeah, 1 second.
Delegate of Iraq present.
Okay. So delegate of Iraq is present and Morocco.
Could you also add the delegate of China? I didn't hear the name being called out.
I think we're having issues. Just give me a second. Yeah, give me a second. I'll fix it right now. Yep.
And the delegate of Germany as well?
Are you present or present?
Present.
Okay.
Present.
As well, the delegate of Belgium. I didn't hear the name.
Okay, guys, do we now most of you delegates said present instead of present and voting. Do we understand the difference, or do you need me to go through it again? Delegate.
I didn't understand it, so if it's okay with you to explain it again, that would be amazing.
Okay, definitely. So after taking roll call, you will have to choose either present or present and voting. If you choose present and voting, you cannot abstain from voting on a matter that is related to the conference in any way. If you choose present only, you will be able to vote on whether this motion carries on or not, but you will not be able to vote on the other matters. So it's the choice is up to the delegate if they want to be present or present and voting. Do you get it?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Do you want us to take the attendance again, guys?
Yeah, you can take it again.
Well, let them answer. Do you want us to take the attendance again?
It would be better,
Yeah.
as I haven't heard my country yet.
All right, let's go again then.
Let's go again. Okay. I'll start again with Argentina, okay? Argentina. Australia.
Present.
Austria. Bangladesh.
Present.
Present, okay. Belgium.
Present.
Chile. China.
Present and voting.
Colombia. DPR Korea or North Korea. Egypt.
Present and voting.
Are you Egypt? Yeah, okay. Present
Yes.
and waiting. Finland. France.
Present.
Okay. Germany.
Present and voting.
Okay. Ghana.
Present.
Greece.
Present and voting.
Guyana. Okay. India. Indonesia.
Present.
Okay. Iraq. Okay. Italy.
Present.
Okay. Kenya. No. Madagascar. Morocco. Morocco.
Present.
Okay. Oman. Pakistan. Republic of Korea. Romania. Russian Federation. Saudi Arabia. Singapore. Syrian Arab Republic. Tunisia. Ukraine.
Present and voting.
Okay. United Arab Emirates. Okay. United Kingdom. United States. Okay. Did we mention everyone's name or everyone's country?
New Zealand.
New Zealand. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let me just add you real quick. If you didn't hear your name, please state it and we're gonna add it because we're having difficulties. New Zealand, are you present and voting or present?
Present and voting.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Let's start with the agenda.
Before we proceed, I'm going to say this one more time. Delegates, please, cameras on, backgrounds ready. We need to start with the mock session.
Yep. Okay. Let's start. Australia, would you like to speak?
For
The availability
Before
of
going
vaccine.
on, sorry, Chair. Before going on, now we have assigned you a topic, which is the availability of the COVID-19 vaccine. You were supposed to prepare a small research for today's session. Now we're just gonna give you a glimpse of how the real conference is gonna go. Of course, this topic is broad. You are not well prepared, and we understand that. But just try your best to indulge in debates and participate with us. Okay.
Okay. Let's go with Australia. Do we have Australia? Can you speak?
I didn't my name.
I called your name, Iraq.
I'm here, present.
Okay.
Delegate of Iraq, please turn your camera on and prepare your background.
Okay, Australia, your time gonna start right now.
Am I just supposed to say a speech, like an introduction?
Yeah, what you researched about the topic,
Okay. The delegates of Australia would love to express their thankfulness into making this meeting occur. To start it all off, germs can be found in our environment as well as in our bodies. When a vulnerable person comes into contact with harmful microorganisms, it can result in disease or death. Our body has many ways in defeating pathogens. Skin, for example, is one physical barrier that can prevent pathogens from entering our body. But unfortunately, it may not be enough. That's where a thing called vaccine may come in handy, where it can strengthen our immune system and can lower risks of getting illnesses. And that's where Australia plays a vital role in this, especially at the time in COVID 19. The Australian government has invested over $1 billion in the national COVID 19 vaccine rollout. Australia has also invested over $350 million in vaccine research and development. So far, so good. Australia has it under control at this point.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next speaker, Bangladesh. Your time starts now.
In Bangladesh could have fallen prey to COVID-19, but we acted fast to protect both our most vulnerable people and businesses. As a result, the pandemic did not hit Bangladesh as hard as the other countries. We are emerging from the pandemic in a good position to continue economic resurgence that began decade ago. Our approach to fight COVID-19 was to balance lives and livelihoods, focusing on the needs of people first and then assisting the businesses that employed them. Thank you for listening. I read my letters of intent with refuse.
Okay, thank you. Next speaker we have
Delegate?
Belgium.
Chair, the delegate of Morocco would like to report the use of a personal pronoun.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, guys, mind you, this is a mock session, and we're gonna wait for you until you finish your speeches and address all your errors one by one. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Next speaker, we have Belgium. Your time starts now.
First of all, thank you for this opportunity. As in Belgium, of course, now we are in the pandemic. We have the most important vaccination, which is Pfizer. Belgium has the biggest manufacturer for vaccines, especially in the EU countries, and it's now like it has 77% of its population has been fully vaccinated, and now as it has a bigger manufacturer, it would share its vaccine to the other EU countries. The Pfizer vaccine is used in all vaccination centers. As you know, it has experienced large numbers of COVID-19, and so the only way to be safe from both any costs was the vaccine. So it has large amount of vaccines there.
Okay, thank you. Next speaker, we have China. Your time starts right now.
So the COVID-19 pandemic is currently taking over the world, and the first case was first detected in Wuhan, China, back in December. A few months later, the pharmaceutical industry announced a major commitment to the pandemic, which was a vaccine. As we all know, the vaccine would improve people's immunity against the disease, and it prevents severe illness. So the country has prioritized the administration of such vaccines to those who are at a higher risk of complications, such as the elderly and healthcare workers. The first COVID-19 vaccine was released by China back in 2020, which is called Sinopharm, which was a little time after the first case was discovered. The country's scientists have worked day and night to form it, so it would improve people's immunity and prevent severe illness.
Okay, thank you. Next speaker, we have Egypt. Your time starts right now.
Okay, so as we all know, the COVID virus has spread wildly over the past couple of months, and Egypt is trying to stop that by supplying the COVID-19 vaccine at all youth centers, and not only that it supplied it to its own country, but it also supplied it to other African nations or to other African countries. And as we all know, because this virus has spread wildly over the past couple months, the state actually kind of looks forward to vaccinating 4.5 million individuals of the state. And not only that, but it also kind of spreads awareness about this vaccine and hopes that by the end of this year, most of the country will be vaccinated.
Okay, thank you. Next speaker, we have France. Your time starts right now.
What is a vaccine? Vaccines interact with your body's natural defenses to create protection, lowering the risk of contracting a disease. Today, I'm going to talk about the availability of vaccine in France. As the coronavirus outbreak continues to spread over the world, multiple laboratories have quickly developed various vaccines. The vaccine campaign in France began on December 27, 2020, and progress was made a few days ago by speeding things up. However, given the frantic pace of news, things may not be as obvious as they appear. The European Medicines Agency, EMA, has authorized 3 vaccines so far, those developed by Pfizer-BioNTech, Moderna, and AstraZeneca. The latter was the most recent addition to France's list of approved COVID-19 vaccines, with the first doses given to healthcare practitioners under the age of 65 on February 6. The main differences between the vaccinations is how they should be stored. Pfizer-BioNTech.
I'm sorry. Time ended.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Next delegate, we have Germany, and your time starts right now.
Thank you. Germany was one of the founding members of the country coordinating mechanism access to COVID-19 tools accelerator. In April 2020, it remains its second largest donor, with contributions totaling 2.2 billion euros so far. Most of the support is going to the international vaccine platform COVAX. Germany donated over 100 million vaccine doses in 2021. Since August 2021, the German government has also been donating vaccines from its own supply agreements, which are not needed for its national vaccination campaign. In total, it's donated around 103 million doses in 2021. This figure includes around 7.7 doses donated bilaterally to countries including Egypt, Ghana, Namibia, Thailand, Ukraine, and Vietnam, as well as around 95 million doses given to COVAX by 4 January. Over 84 million of these doses had been passed on to 30 recipient
Thank you.
countries
Time
worldwide.
ends. Thank you. Okay, next speaker we have Ghana. Your time starts right now. Go for it.
The COVID pandemic has really been spread around the world for the past months and past 2 years. Today I'm going to be talking about the availability of vaccine and how many people have been taking the vaccines in Ghana. The doses that have been given in Ghana was 9.82 billion doses, and 0.7 billion people got fully vaccinated. Ghana wishes that in the next years, all the people living in Ghana would all be vaccinated and will have all taken the vaccine. And
okay, so yeah, thank you. Please refrain from using personal pronouns, and you can yield your time to another delegate. Let's say you have 30 seconds left. You can yield the rest of that time to Greece, and he'll have or she'll have 1 minute and 30. So yeah. Next speaker, we have Greece. Your time starts right now.
COVID-19 took a toll on everyone, and Greece especially is trying its best to control everything and get everything back to normal. Since the vaccine came out, COVID-19 infections are decreasing in Greece, with more than 18,000 new infections reported on average each day. That's 52% of the peak. The highest daily average reported on January 5th. Now, the vaccination, Greece has administered at least 18 million doses of COVID vaccines so far. Assuming every person needs 2 doses, that's enough to vaccinate about 86.4% of the country's population. And in addition to that, vaccine is trying to persuade their citizens by giving them money to take.
Sorry, delegates, I have personal issues. I have to leave.
I yield my time to Indonesia. Thank you.
To what country?
Indonesia.
Indonesia, okay.
Sorry, my internet went off and I didn't finish my time.
You have 14 seconds left, so I'll fix that right now. Okay. So, yeah. Wait 1 second. Yeah, go for 14 seconds and it starts now. Go.
Indonesia is the largest country in South Asia. It is separately.
I'm sorry to interrupt. It was Ghana. Yeah. She wanted to continue. Okay. I guess never mind. Indonesia, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Indonesia is the largest country in South Asia.
Go for it now. Yeah.
Indonesia is the largest country in South Asia. It is separately seeking to vaccinate its 270 million people. President of Indonesia wanted to vaccinate 2 million people every day. However, cases and deaths is continuing to rise, and scientists worry that the large population of unvaccinated people. Indonesia gave its 100 million dose of COVID-19 vaccine on August 31, marking a scientific event for one of the world's most COVID-19 affected countries, with a population of almost 270 million people. Indonesia is today one of only 7 countries in the world to have achieved this. The Indonesian government is deserving of respect. It successfully integrated health resources across the country and has so far provided 14.9 billion to the healthcare system. Indonesia was also one of the world's first countries to offer free COVID-19 vaccinated to its adult population. The Indonesia vaccinated program recently expanded to include children aged 12 to 17 years old, and now it takes nearly 1.2 million doses per day. Thank you.
Okay, would you like to yield the remaining time to the delegate of Iraq?
Yes, no problem.
Okay. Okay, the delegate of Iraq. The delegate of Iraq. I think he just left. We'll skip him.
Mark him as present, Chair.
I'll remove him.
Sorry, mark him as absent, Chair.
Yeah. Iraq. Absent. Okay. So the delegate of Italy, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds, and your time begins right now. Go for it.
Coronavirus inclusion is permitted a dynamic arrival of limitations around the world. Utilizing a numerical model, Italy surveyed the effect of immunization in Italy since December 27, 2020, and assessed possibilities for cultural returning after development of Delta variations, which are the viruses according to the data. We gauged that by June 30, 2021, COVID-19 inclusion permitted the resumption of about portion of pre-pandemic social contacts. Without any inclusion, similar number of cases is gotten by continuing around 33% of pre-pandemic contacts with around 12,100 additional passings. So immunization offset the impact of Delta variation in summer 2021. The future pestilence pattern is encircled by considerable vulnerable should be a pediatric antibody. So through many of the data as shown, Italy has been producing more amount of vaccines as there has been many cases of resulting in patients. As you know, Italy was the first country to be.
Your time ended. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, next delegate, we have Morocco. Your time starts right now.
With the widespread of the global pandemic, COVID-19, it is best to be cautious and get vaccinated. The government of Morocco has been ensuring that its citizens are vaccinated. With over 23 million, which is 62.6% of the population, being completely vaccinated, and 24 million, which is about 67.0% of the population, has received at least one dose. Morocco has been ensuring that vaccines are available. Its vaccines include the BioNTech, Johnson & Johnson, Oxford AstraZeneca, Sinopharm, and Sputnik V. In the first phase, it had received the highest COVID-19 vaccine rates in all of Africa. Although the priority is given mostly to the frontline workers, such as the health workers, elders, teachers, security forces, and the authority forces, with health conditions and also people with health conditions that need to be specially taken care of. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next speaker, we have New Zealand, and your time starts right now.
As a delegate of New Zealand, I would like to say that as a delegate of New Zealand, New Zealand has started cases from the 22nd of March in 2020, the first case for COVID-19. And then on the 14th of February in 2021, we started to give the vaccines for the population of the New Zealand. For over 3 million people have been fully vaccinated for the COVID-19. The Pfizer vaccine, and also we are trying to get approach for more people to get vaccinated. Our population is over 5 million in the country itself, so we are trying to approach all of the vaccination in the world.
Thank you. Okay. Next delegate, we have Ukraine, and your time starts right now.
On March 3rd, 2020, the first case of COVID-19 in Ukraine was confirmed. The number of cases with COVID-19 in Ukraine at the time of the study, which is March 2021, was first 1.4 million with a death rate of 27,480. Ukraine has been under quarantine with varied levels of lockdown since March 12, 2020. According to polls, 90% of Ukrainians believe the COVID-19 pandemic has affected their lives. The approval of COVID-19 vaccinations has given people hope for a return to normalcy. In Ukraine, however, COVID-19 immunization attempts are hampered by a number of inherent and difficulties. Until the end of January 2021, the Ukrainian parliament planned to enact laws allowing for quick registration for COVID-19 vaccinations.
Okay, thank you. And that's the end for the speaker list.
Excuse me. I in the beginning you said my last 14 seconds,
Yeah.
but I didn't hear anyone after that. So can you just please put that again?
Yeah, sure. Last 14 seconds and no, 14 seconds, and your time begins now.
While COVID-19 vaccines have been developed faster than any other vaccine in history, safety was the most important thing in Ghana. The speed of development of COVID-19 vaccine has also been made possible because of the availability of new tools and technologies.
Okay, thank you. And we finished the speaker list. Let's go back to the PowerPoint for some key points. Main conference, we have the moderated caucus and unmoderated caucus. For the delegate, the Honorable Delegate of India raised the motion to set the agenda and time for 5 minutes. We can do this through the mock session. Let's say the delegate of Germany raised a motion for, well, we use the availability of the vaccine. Let's say the safety of construction workers. That's a topic you can use, and you can raise the motion and the 5 minutes or minutes regarding the topic. After that, the chair can accept or deny, and the delegate can use the resolution time if it's left over to yield to another delegate, as we did. And for the unmoderated caucus, it's an informal debate. You can use your personal pronouns, and it's an informal debate. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. That's it. Does anyone want to raise a motion?
All right, guys, before you proceed with raising the motion, in the moderated caucus, we have to maintain formality. In the unmoderated caucus, however, you can use person pronouns such as I, we, our. But we do prefer if you stick to the honorable delegate of, all right? And after the caucuses, if anyone decides to raise a motion here, after that, we will give you the notes on your opening speeches and what went wrong with it. All right.
Yep.
Now, if anyone would like to raise a caucus, please raise your flag card, and we will call on you.
I didn't really get the idea of the caucus. Like, how are we supposed to raise it? Like, I didn't really get it.
All right. So our topic is the availability of the vaccine, right? Okay. Now, as a delegate, you would raise your flag card, ask us to proceed with a motion for, let's say, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. You pick the time that you think is needed for this motion, all right? And this is a chance for you guys to converse, to debate, and we have two sides of it. We have two parts of it. The moderated one, which you have to maintain formality at all times, and the unmoderated one, which you will have the ability to use person pronouns, or not maintain such formality. Now, we as chairs are gonna see this motion you raised, see if it's good enough to be debated, or if it qualifies to be raised in such that time, and we will either accept or deny it. All right, do you get it?
I did get the part that you said, we have to use we choose whether we use unmoderated or moderated caucus.
Don't choose. Do not choose that. No, moderated and unmoderated caucuses is two parts that we're gonna go through either ways. You don't choose whether you go through it or not. You have just the first part that is moderated, where you have to maintain formality. Get it?
No.
All right.
Get it.
Okay, that's fine. That's totally okay. Okay, this is why we're here doing this session, to explain to you guys. All right. Please, guys, if you don't get anything, also don't hesitate to ask. All right.
You can write your questions in the chat also, and yeah.
Okay. See, there is, we have, when you raise a motion, we have parts of the debate. We're gonna go through the debate with your delegates, right? Now, first, we're gonna go through a debate where you have to maintain absolute formality. When you're speaking as a delegate, you cannot use personal pronouns. You cannot, I don't know, use any slang in your words. You cannot use any kind of language that hints to unprofessionality or informality. You have to maintain formal. Let's say, example, Chair Yazan raised the motion for the availability of the vaccine and how some people are not getting it due to age problems or due to money problems, right? Let's say the chair accepted that, and I, as a delegate, let's say I'm the delegate of India, all right? Let's say I'm the delegate of India. I'm gonna go like, delegate of India would like to state their country's stance on etc., 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 and go ahead with my country's stance and go ahead with where we stand on this issue, and then explain the issues regarding it, why it's not available to everybody, why it is available to everybody, and we'll start with the debate. Why the 1 second? Yeah, we'll start with the debate and why to have their like.
Okay. Did you get it? Delegate of
Yes, I did.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone want to raise a motion or an agenda? Okay. Does anyone have questions?
So we raise a motion regarding the topic, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I raise a motion?
Okay, what's the motion?
A motion to move into a moderated caucus with the topic of the types of COVID vaccine present, with the time of 2 minutes for each delegate to state their point.
Wait. Okay, yeah, accepted. That's the types of COVID vaccines, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Will it be the types of COVID vaccines like about the country or like in general, like worldwide?
In the country, the types of COVID vaccine available in your country.
Yep. And you said 2 minutes per delegate. Okay. We're gonna start with Australia. And go.
Wait, I have to state a point?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Australia already has the
Wait.
AstraZeneca.
Yeah, let's just start with the timer. 1, 2, 3, and go.
Australia already has the AstraZeneca, Pfizer, and the Moderna vaccines already present, and Australia already has access to over 150 million vaccine doses, ensuring Australia to remain a world leader in the fight against the virus.
Would you like to yield your remaining time to any delegate?
I would like to yield the rest of my time to the chair.
Okay, thank you. Next delegate, Bangladesh.
Thank you.
Okay.
The COVID crisis likely have the COVID crisis is likely to have stress. 1 second. Sorry. The government also Bangladesh has also become a world leader in digital adaptations and experts or delegate Bangladesh institutions have transformed. I'd like to yield this. Sorry, I'd like to yield this for time.
Would you like to yield what?
I would like to yield the rest of the time to the shears.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm really sorry for what happened right now.
No worries. We can give 5 minutes to each delegate to research about it, and we can start again. to research about the topic, if that's fine by
Would you guys like
Jim.
that?
Please.
Yeah, is it okay if
Yeah.
Yeah. You have 5 minutes, do your research and come back.
Okay, the
Okay.
majority. Go for it, yeah. Okay, delegates, I think the time has ended. Let's start again with Australia. Your time begins now.
Australia has supply agreements in place for the following vaccines of AstraZeneca, Pfizer, and Moderna vaccines. Some vaccines are not released yet as they contain confidential information, but the following vaccines are approved, and I yield my time rest back to the chair.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to Bangladesh. Your time
Yes.
begins now.
Okay. Bangladesh country is seeking to inoculate 80% of the population of around 170 million, with each person getting 2 doses administered administered 4 weeks apart. However, the government has nearly helped its target for the first month from 6 million people, as only a little over to 328,000 people had registered for the vaccine. Bangladesh has received 5 million of the 13 million doses of the Covishield vaccine it has ordered from the Serum Institute of India, which is the world's best vaccine producer, and it makes the AstraZeneca vaccine. The country has also received 2 million doses of Covishield as a gift from India. I'd like to yield the rest of the time to the Shias.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Belgium. Belgium. Your time starts right now. Okay, I think Belgium is not available. Let's go with China.
Okay, so currently China has 6 approved vaccines for use, which include 2 types of Sinopharm, Sinovac, and CanSino. The country offers all doses for those vaccines to all age groups. However, those above 60 years old must be monitored actively after receiving the vaccine since there is lacking data regarding their outcomes. Additionally, there are 22 other vaccines in clinical trials, including different types of the Pfizer vaccine.
Would you like to yield your time to the chairs?
Yes.
Okay. How about we vote for 1 minute? 1 minute rather than 2 minutes. Do we have a majority?
Yeah, I think that's better.
That's fine.
Yes.
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 Majority
Yes.
goes for 1 minute. Okay. Egypt, your time starts now. I think you're muted, Egypt. Wait. Egypt. Yeah, your time begins now.
All right, sorry.
No worries.
Okay. So as a representative of this country, I do state that there has been 8 vaccines present in the country to this day, including Moderna, Pfizer, Gamaleya, Oxford, Janssen, Covishield, Sinopharm, and Sinovac. 4 of these vaccines, of these COVID-19 vaccines, are non-replicant, and 2 are RNA-based, meaning that they react to the genetic material of the patient, and 2 are inactivated, meaning that the copies of the virus have been killed before injected into the patient. Now, all of these vaccines have been approved by 136 countries around the globe, and most of them have been going through 58 trials before being present in the country. And Egypt is also working on 4 other vaccines that are in clinical trial today.
Okay, thank you. France, your time begins now.
The vaccine campaign in France began on December 27, 2020. EMA has authorized 3 vaccines so far, those developed by Pfizer, BioNTech, Moderna, and AstraZeneca. The main difference between the vaccinations is how they should be stored, and the most popular COVID-19 vaccine in France is the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine. Thank you.
Okay. Would you like to yield your time to the chairs?
Yes.
Okay. Germany, your time begins now.
Thank you. We have vaccines such as Moderna, Novavax, and CureVac, And as we have stated before, we have given millions of doses to COVAX and have provided vaccines from Germany supplyment to many countries like Bangladesh, Vietnam, Egypt, and Indonesia. Thank you.
Would you like to yield your time to the delegate or the chair?
Delegate Ghana.
Okay.
Ghana was the first. Do I start?
Yeah, go for it.
Ghana was the first country to receive COVID-19 vaccine via COVAX. The rollout plan right now is that to vaccinate 20 million Ghanaians. There are several COVID vaccines for use who, given emergency use listing. The first mass vaccination program started in early December 2020, and the number of vaccination doses administered is updated on daily basis. I will, the delegate of Ghana would like to yield the rest of the time to the chair.
Okay, thank you. Change the time to 1 minute again. And Greece, your time. Yeah, Greece, your time begins now.
Okay, so in Greece, 5 vaccines were approved, them being Novavax, Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, and lastly, Oxford. These 5 vaccines were approved and trialed in several countries. Thank you.
Okay. Would you like to yield the rest of your time to the delegate or the chair?
I'd like to yield my time to the delegate
Okay.
of Indonesia.
Wait,
Yes.
delegate of Indonesia. And go for it.
On January 13, 2021, the government introduced the COVID-19 vaccination program. It is divided into 4 phases. The healthcare personnel receiving the first dose of vaccines, followed by the government employees, and finally the general population. By the end of 2021, the government plans to have vaccinated the majority of Indonesia. There are 4 type major vaccines in Indonesia: Sinovac, Pfizer, Moderna, and AstraZeneca. These 4 types are allowed over all Indonesia. In Sinovac, the interval between doses is 28 days, and it's allowed for all aged plus the woman pregnant. In Pfizer, the interval between doses is 21 to 28 days, and it's allowed for all age group plus the pregnant woman. In Moderna, the interval between doses is 28 days, and it's allowed for people who are 12 to 17 years old, and it can be allowed for the people above 18 and women pregnant. In AstraZeneca, interval between those 12 weeks, and it's allowed for the people who are 12 to 17 years old and the woman pregnant, or it can be allowed for the people above 18. Thank you.
Okay. Would you like to yield the time to a delegate or a chair?
Yes, delegate.
Okay. Delegate for 30, just 1 second. 1 minute and 45 seconds, and your time starts now. Delegate of Italy. Do we have the delegate of Italy? No? Okay. We'll go for the delegate of Morocco.
I'm sorry.
Okay, you're back?
Yeah, I had some
No worries.
issue.
Okay, your time starts now.
Okay, so as the Italy has taken out few of the vaccines from first, which would be a Pfizer, second is Moderna and Oxford, AstraZeneca, and Janssen and Novax. These are the 5 main vaccines that were taken out. As for the other vaccines, they have not been accepted. They have been cancelled. The most worth vaccine, which was the Pfizer, through the data which was showed in 21st December 2020, which has brought many people from getting recovered. I would like to yield my time to a delegate.
Okay. The delegate of Morocco. Before we start, let's just change the time. 45 seconds, and your time starts now.
To ensure a speedy recovery of its citizens from the virus, Morocco has approved these 4 vaccines that have also been approved by the World Health Organization. These vaccines include Sputnik V, Oxford AstraZeneca, Covishield, which is actually a formulation of Oxford and AstraZeneca, and also Sinopharm that was originated in Beijing. There is still one vaccination that's on clinical trial in Morocco. which is Sinopharm from Wuhan. On 22nd of January, which is 2 years from now, the first batch of Oxford AstraZeneca, consisting of 2 million doses, was first sent to Morocco. Thank you. I would like to yield my time to the chairs.
Thank you. Okay. The delegate of New Zealand, your time starts now.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. You can yield the rest of the time if you want. Okay. Skip. The delegate of Ukraine, your time starts now.
In Ukraine, there are 6 vaccines that are approved for use in Ukraine. We have Moderna, Pfizer, Oxford, Janssen, Serum, and Sinovac, and they are approved in also other countries. And there are 3 vaccines in clinical trials right now in Ukraine.
Okay,
Thank you.
We'll go back to New Zealand. Yeah, you can start right now. Yeah.
Okay. New Zealand has showed a great efforts in fighting COVID-19 pandemic. They provided 10 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine, which is more than great. We are trying to approach for all of the population for the New Zealand, which is 5 million. We are until now we are 3 million fully vaccinated. And then for the Ministry of New Zealand, the Ministry of Health in New Zealand is
Okay. Your time ended. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, we're done with the speaker list. Let's go to the PowerPoint. Okay. Regarding the Q&A, does anyone have any questions? Dear delegates, don't hesitate if you have any questions.
All right, delegates, this is your chance, all right? Questions are more than welcomed here. This is a mock session to help you participate better and understand and grasp the concept of this MUN better. Please don't hesitate.
I would actually like to ask a question regarding the position paper.
Yes, go ahead.
The presentation that you had sent, it actually said you had to write the name of the agenda. And since have all been given 2 topics, so should I write both of them all together there, or should I, divide it and write the second one in the middle of the page when I start?
You write both of them there. Write both of the topics on the top.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have a question. Another question regarding the position paper. Both of the topics, can we merge them together or should we separate them?
Separate them is better because they're separate topics.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Next question. Delegate of Australia, I think you had a question.
I had a similar question. Yeah, it was a similar question.
All right. Any other questions, guys?
I was reading the paper that you guys have sent us, and it says 750 the word limit. And last time you said word limit in the PowerPoint, but I can't remember that. Can you please tell us what is the word limit?
The word limit is 900 words. You cannot exceed that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Other questions, guys?
Wait, one more question. When is the last submission date for the position paper?
27th of January.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question. So for the position paper, are we supposed to write 2 essays? Sorry, that's my cat.
That's okay. No, we like cats.
Are we supposed to 2 essays or 2 position papers for the 2 topics, or because they're the word limit is 900, or are we supposed to?
One position paper is enough, and the word limit is 900. I mean, you don't even have to you don't have to go so deep in your position paper. Just make sure to mention the key points, have proper grammar, and the plagiarism allowed, guys, is 5%.
Okay, thank you so much.
Any other questions?
Yes. During the moderate caucus, does every country have to speak, or do they have the option not to?
If you voted, when during the roll call, if you said present and voting, you absolutely have to speak.
Any other questions?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
For the position paper, how the introduction and the body, how they will be? What is the things that we must search on?
Okay, let me explain the position paper briefly. Chair Yazan, you can maybe stop sharing screen so we can see everyone clearly.
Yeah, just 1 second. I think we have a format also.
Yeah, that's great. All right.
Yeah.
So position paper, you start with your committee's name, then your topic, and now you have 2 topics. So you're gonna write one and the other. All right. Then you have your delegate, like your name as a delegate, the country you're representing, and then the school you're representing. All right. Now the introduction, go about it with introducing your country's stance on both topics. I don't know, let's say the availability of the vaccine, let's say country of Germany, the delegate of Germany, they will go in the introduction about saying something like, Germany is trying so hard to provide kaza vaccine, and they will go ahead and mention it. Then you're going to start with the key points and indulge in the actual research. Now to help you, we have put focus questions in our handbooks. I'm sure you guys have read it. Yeah. So these questions will narrow down your research and make it easier for you to research about it. And I think a lot of delegates asked me that they're new to writing 2 topics in one position paper. Now this part is not as tricky as you think it is, really. You can make a headline for one topic, state your stance below it, and make a headline for the other and state your stance below it. Right, just go about it like a normal position paper.
We have a question in the chat from Nadeem. He states, how do you formally say shut up in a session?
You don't formally say shut up in a session. All right, let's be clear on that point. During the session, you cannot say shut up formally or informally. You will have to listen to what the other delegate has to say, because this is the point of the MUN. All right, other questions?
How the group work will be, and
this is gonna be in the last session, in the last day of work.
We'll explain it on the last session. It's better if we explain it last session.
Okay.
That's what we got.
Thank you.
No worries.
Any
more questions?
Yes. How do allies work? Because when we went on the first meeting, we discussed allies, but we didn't really go into details. I was wondering, how would we know, okay, like this person is our ally, and how would they know? Do we talk to them personally or privately, or what? How does it work?
Okay, so you're the delegate of Greece, right? In the availability of the vaccine topic, now we're trying not to get into the real topic to save the excitement, guys, so pardon that. But in the availability, let's say in the topic of availability of the vaccine, country of Greece would see, let's say, what's the most popular vaccine in your country available right now?
Pfizer.
All right. What's another country with that vaccine that's most available? Germany. All right. Let's say it's Germany is also popular with Pfizer. You would be good allies with Germany, right? But that is going to depend totally on the topic, stance, and how the conference is going at the time. So what you're gonna do is weigh your options, research your topics. Like you would be allies with Germany on one topic and be total enemies with on the other. So don't take Germany as a set ally, because there is no such thing as a set ally. You're gonna see what goes with your topic, who are your friends in the topic, what countries have the same stance as you, and you will choose your allies accordingly. Of course, you might not get a proper judgment of that, so you will be submitting that list of allies to us chairs. We're going to read it, go over it, and admit it, approve it or not. I want to say, guys, if we do not approve a kind of motion or ally list, please don't take it personally. It's definitely for the best for you. Do you get it? All clear?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Okay. Other questions?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay. So while we're doing the position papers, the plagiarism is only 5%, right? Okay. So when you're saying plagiarism, like let's say I'm like copying a point from Google and I'm just like paraphrasing it, like just like switching up some words. That's not counted as plagiarism, right?
It is like here, how do I say this? Plagiarism is copying a point from a source and putting it in your paper. Now, you want to use that information, you can, but it is going to be counted as plagiarism, and you're going to have to cite which source you got it from. It's going to be counted as evidence. Now, of course, there are stuff like born in, let's say, this is completely unreal. Okay, let's say it's born in 1998. You're not going to have to count that as plagiarism because that's just facts. You cannot change that in any way possible. But most things, when it comes to your research, is going to be counted as plagiarism.
So if I copy something from Google, I have to give credits to the website I took.
And you have to make sure it's a credible website. You cannot be copying something from websites that ends with .com, .net, etc.
Yeah, like Wikipedia.
So most of the time I have to put my points.
Most of the time it's your points. The point of the position paper is to pour your thoughts into it and organize them for you to be able to speak in the conference.
Oh my God! Thank you.
I have a question.
Okay.
So in the position paper, if we want to have like a point from a source, we should add the source, like the link or the where we got the idea or the information from. But if we got the information and we paraphrased it, and so we should still add the source from where we got this information.
I mean, the sources, you're going to add them either ways, whether you take this information or not, because you took this source, you took this information from somewhere at the end, right? So you're going to have to add this source anyways. And you have to make sure it's a credible website, guys.
Sure,
Okay.
thank you so much.
We have a question in the chat. It's what is the minimum number of words in the position paper? Well, there's no such thing as a minimum, but we highly suggest it's 500 words.
Okay, guys, about that. Minimum, we did not specify a minimum limit for the words because we wanted you delegates to get the better judgment and write as comfortable as you are. But when you're submitting a paper, I highly advise that it is not below 250 words. Because, mind you, you're going to have your topic, your committee, your name, the school you're representing, the headlines. So a lot of the position paper will be you introducing it than you actually talking or saying anything in it. You're going to have to keep that in mind, please, guys. There is no such thing as a minimum, but it has to be a qualified paper.
Any further questions?
I have a question. So when an alliance is too strong, what can the chairs do?
The chairs can't do anything about that. If you made an alliance that's too strong, good job. You did a good job.
Yeah. Any more questions?
Can you give us a run through on what's gonna happen on the first day?
Sure. Okay. First day, first of all, you guys will arrive. We will have the opening ceremony where you will meet our Secretary General, the principal, and we have guest speakers, of course. Then we're going to start with assigning each delegate to their halls and to their designated place. After you all are settled in, we're going to start with session 0, which is going to be more like an icebreaker. We're not going to do anything of actual debate, but we're going to get to know each other, talk about the topics briefly, break the ice, make you guys feel more comfortable in the session, and get you guys into your element. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions?
For the position paper and the solutions, so we can put our solution from our opinion, or we must take from the country what is doing or what's providing solutions from the country itself.
No, for solutions, you're gonna do that in the resolution papers, which is last session. But position paper, you don't put your opinion either. You put your country's stance. Like you as a person, I'm not gonna say this in an offensive way, but you're invalid. All right, you as a person become the person of your country. Okay, you're delegate of New Zealand. You're no longer Shada. You're New Zealand now. All right, that's how you think about it.
It's an informative writing mostly, so you don't add opinions and stuff like that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Other questions?
I think that's it.
I think I saw a question in the chat box saying, when can we form an alliance with other countries? Would that be during an unmoderated caucuses? Forming an alliance with other countries will be mostly it can be throughout the sessions, all the sessions, but it will be mostly unspoken of. The formal alliance you will be forming is in the last session, where you're going to be also creating your resolution papers. Last day of the conference. Where do we have to write the source? At the end of your position paper. So it's a minimum. We said no minimum. It's 900 words maximum, and just make it qualified to be a position paper.
Any more questions?
Wait, so about like stating the sources, I should just like stack them all at the end?
Yeah, you can put your links at the end.
Okay.
So whatever citation you're familiar with, APA, APP, whatever.
Okay.
I have a question. So for the resources at the end of the paper, do we just like copy and paste the links, or do we like provide the websites, or how exactly are we supposed to type
Just provide your websites. You went to the WHO formal website, you put the link, you put the paragraph number, etc.
Okay.
Okay, regarding the alliance, we're gonna do a WhatsApp group to put every alliance together, and after that we're gonna set the rules and we're gonna provide everything, so you don't need to worry about that.
Guys, don't worry. With every step, we will provide you with rules, because we know a lot of you are just starting this for the first time and for the first year joining us. We don't want you to be nervous or scared or anything of that kind. It's a fun experience. We want you to be confident. Have fun with it. Be you. Just have fun with the experience, because it's truly an amazing experience. Don't let fear and nervousness ruin it.
Okay, yeah. Any further questions? I think it's best if we move to the end of the PowerPoint, which is, what is a position paper? A position paper is a formal document in which you talk about your country's position stand in regards to both of the given topics. In it, you should talk about a brief introduction about the topic, background, about the topic like the previous actions taken by the UN, your own country's position toward the topic, and finally, possible solutions in which you will propose the specific problems within your topic and your country's position regards to it. But you should align with your country foreign policies always. You should never attack your country. You should always show your country at its best position. This is a sample, as we talked about it, and these are the rules for the position paper. I suggest you take a screenshot. We'll also provide on the WhatsApp, don't worry. And that's it for the PowerPoint and the homework session. Thank you, dear delegates. That's it.
Okay, delegates, we have reached the end of our session. It was a nice session. It was very nice hearing from you all and seeing your speeches and what you have prepared. Now, I would like to remind you all that we are in the 22nd of January, which means only 5 days until your position papers are due, right? If you submit it earlier than 27, actually, if you submit it earlier than 25th, we will be able to give you feedback before moving on to grading it. So I highly advise you do that. Okay? Any questions? Anything unclear? No? All good?
Wait, just one more question.
Go ahead.
The position paper is kind of scaring me. Now, you're saying that, okay, wait, can I just like from Google take like a idea of it and just switch it up and make it my words? Or is that counted as plagiarism?
See, in the position paper, we're gonna need you to write it yourself, right? ideas are more than welcome. Go to Google, look at position papers, go to YouTube, see how it's written. That is more than okay. As long as you don't use the same ideas, same key concepts, same words, you cannot do that. I'm sorry. All right. Okay, listen to me. All right, look at me. I can tell you're scared. There is no reason to be. All right, there's no reason to be. It's a couple of points. If you lose them, you lose them. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal, right? Just focus on having fun through the conference. Focus on being confident. Focus on debating well. You might be able to make up for the position paper if you think you did it in the wrong way. And if you want, submit it before 25th so I can give you feedback on your position paper, tell you what to change if you had more than plagiarism enough or not. Okay?
Okay, so one last question from my behalf. Hala, when you gave us like the guide, can few questions on each topic. Hala, can I surround my whole position paper on these questions?
Of course, yeah. These questions are there to help you narrow it down. You can surround it all.
يعني اوكي خلص بس انا اجاوب هدول questions واحطهم in paragraphs وانا بكون خلصت topic 1 topic B صح؟
Answer the questions without mentioning the questions. So make sure that you're answering it in a paragraph.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions, guys? No? Okay, great.
I have one question.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
But there are questions, as you just mentioned. So in the paper, can we write them all as if we are saying, like we are answering the question, but we are like answering it in like in a different way so that people won't know it's a question? Can we do that?
Wow, that's a good question. Okay, so the purpose of the question is again to help you narrow it down. Like, if you want to answer it in a way that people don't want to know, if you don't want people to know that you're answering a question, that's obviously preferred because you're writing a position paper. But we're not going to look that much on the way you're answering the question. We're just going to look at the summarization or outlook of your position paper. Okay. In the chat box, I got a question saying, will we be given our own placards? Yes, you will. If the conference is on campus, you will be given your own placards. Okay.
Okay. I think we're done with every question.
Are we done? Any more questions, guys?
Alas?
Okay, great.